everybody? Welcome to Open Up. My name is Michael.
My name is Lucas.
And this is our friend
Andy. Alright, well, this is
Take 40. Just kidding. Today we're going to be talking about a very serious topic. I feel like I've never heard this publicly spoken about, honestly.
Yeah.
But dealing with a heartbreak
From a man's perspective.
Yeah, but from a man's perspective. There's all this stuff on the internet about how women deal with post breakup, what is it called?
So I feel like every time you go on the internet, it's realistically from a woman's side, right? The man cheated. Men are trash. Man ain't this, right? She knew who she was and then she flourished. Right? When do you ever see it from a man's perspective? Men's heartbreak, men experiencing this pain of losing someone they love, losing a relationship that meant a lot to them. You never really see it, right? He knew who he was and then he flourished. Isn't a thing.
You ain't never seen that anymore.
You've never seen that quote, but I'm gonna get it tattooed on me. So that's why we wanted to talk about it, bring some discussions into it, and we all have our own individual stories, our own things to really talk about, so.
Yeah, I feel like us three, we've had ex-girlfriends in the past. Obviously, the ex-girlfriend relationships have broken up, and we've all passed through.
The thing is, we've all messaged each other about it. That's the funny part, that we've talked to each other.
We've all talked to each other, a few hours post-breakup. We've always been there for each other, so we kind of want to talk about how we experienced and how we, what do people say, glowed up?
Glue up?
Glue up. He said glue up.
How do you move forward?
How do you move forward from post-breakup? Honestly, I'll start.
Yeah.
So, people always talk about, you were saying, men have, this negative stigma, oh, sis, he did you dirty. Obviously, it's two sides of every story. But post-breakup, I was very sad for a while. And I was spending a shit ton of time on social media, just kind of in a rabbit hole of looking up fucking negative quotes and all that stuff. And you get stuck in social media, and then you're just stuck doing nothing, and you're sitting at home and you're overthinking. And one great thing, I think it was Lucas that told me, he was like, bro, just stay active, just stay just do something, just stay busy. And I remember literally that day buying a book and just going outside, going for a walking and reading a book. That sounds absurd, ridiculous, but it kept my mind busy. You know what I'm saying? And it kept me
Keep your mind off of things.
Yeah, it kept my mind off of things. I stayed distracted, and I wasn't just sulking in my room crying, which it's perfectly fine to cry and experience your emotions.
Nope.
But then at a certain point, you have to, once you allow those emotions to flow, you have to get out of that rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel post breakup with my last girlfriend, the girlfriend before, I feel my mental side of me has significantly increased because I've been able to think things through much more, and it's just been a very good process for me because I've understood to process my emotions a lot better. You know what I'm saying?
I think coming from my perspective, I have always, it's funny because prior to my last relationship, I never even thought that love was a real thing. I never thought that I just didn't think it was real. I was I'll never love a woman, it's never gonna happen. I will never let a woman break me as a man. None of this. And you can ask anyone, that was my fixed mindset. Right? And obviously, I learned a huge lesson. I learned a very, very valuable lesson that I was very much wrong, right? And I think one of my friends told me that a breakup can crumble any man, no matter the strength. Because when you truly, truly are into someone, you truly, truly love someone, and you look at them and you see your future, and you see yourself, and you see your life, and you see all these opportunities, and they become a piece of you, they become your identity. Having that taken away from you is extremely, extremely difficult to manage, right? It's extremely difficult to handle. And from a guy's perspective too, where we're just forced to really not talk about anything and to really suffer ourselves, it's extremely damaging. Just personally for me, from my last breakup, within a month, I went from weighing 212 pounds to 203.4, right? And I do not.
Big difference.
That's a huge difference because I don't want to lose weight. I want to gain weight. I'm big into powerlifting. I want to get bigger. I want to put on more size. I want more and more. Like, I lost weight unintentionally. I was going to the gym twice a day, right? I wasn't eating. I couldn't finish a meal. I wasn't sleeping. I was super anxious. I couldn't work. And I don't say things to, like, I don't say this for you guys to be like, what the heck, like, I feel so bad for him. I say it because this is real. Like, this is what happens. And it's normal. Like, I mean, that's how it is. Like, men feel these types of pain too. And if you're going through something like that, like, that is okay. That is, like, that's something that took me a very long time to learn. That's okay, right? Like, to go through these pains, to suffer. And loss is serious. When you lose someone that you love, it is very, very difficult.
And bouncing off of that as well with Lucas, he was experiencing, I'm going to be specific with you, he was experiencing these things and he'd reach out to us being like, oh, what should I do? Like, how should I proceed with this? He'd communicate with his friends, with some of his best friends. Andy and I were there for him, and like that helped use like a collective amount of minds to help him move forward. Exactly.
Yeah. And the most helpful thing too was that my boys always kept it real with me, right? It was never like none of that foo-foo stuff.
Like, oh, like your ex-girlfriend's a bitch. Like, we were never like that. You know
it wasn't, oh my God, there's a million fish in the sea, right? It was like, dude, I understand. Like, I know what you're going through. It's tough. It sucks, right? Like, you're gonna be okay. Try to do these things to really help yourself move forward. Like, understand that everything happens for a reason. Understand these things. Understand how she feels. Understand like what's going on, right?
Don't avoid them.
Yeah.
Try to understand these emotions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And like, I remember after you and your ex broke up, you reached out to us and you were like, yo, what can I do to like better myself?
Yep.
And one thing Andy did big time was his fitness, like literally your physical health. Right? Like, how much were you weighing right as you broke up?
I was at like 195, something like that, almost pushing 200.
My dude dropped 40 pounds from his breakup. Like, it's serious.
Well, no, explain that.
Yeah.
So he didn't not eat and lose 40 pounds. He
partially sometimes.
He used the breakup to help motivate him.
Choo choo.
Sorry, I thought that was like a screaming angel. Anyways, he helped the post breakup. He wanted to better himself and concentrate on himself and spend that time helping himself. So he started getting into fitness. You know what I'm saying? So like, how's that for you?
I mean, at this point it was almost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But I was at almost 200. Working till 1 a.m. didn't really help out too much. You know, going home every day, crying on my way home, crying at home, just pretty much begging at that point. I mean, it didn't. Nothing really helped up until she blocked me, and then I talked to them too. I talked to a few of our other friends. So that was in the beginning of the summer. By the end of the summer, I was down to 140, which I'm at right now, basically.
And just to specify, it wasn't the same thing as Lucas. He did not eat and become 140. He used that time from himself, like his individual time, to concentrate on his fitness and concentrate on proper eating, and that's why he lost weight, not on a negative way.
Everyone goes through different phases, right? And I think, so something that I did that really, really helped me, I had a conversation with my dad, right? And I never thought that it was gonna be helpful as I've mentioned in my previous videos, right? I've like opening up to your parents is like a weird thing to do. But I had a conversation with my dad, and my dad gave me some of the best advice, like of all time, right? And he was like, you have to allow yourself to feel these feelings. You have to allow yourself to process these emotions, to see what's going on, how you react when this is happening, because that is a part of life, right? It is a part of life. Going through this pain, finding someone that you really care for, losing them, moving forward, like breakups happen all the time, and learning how to manage yourself is extremely important, and learning how to manage your feelings, your emotions, going through these, and allowing yourself to express it, it's extremely important, and it's okay.
Yeah. So main points is like, it's okay to feel how you want to feel, but you got to make sure that after you have a period of like, okay, I understand that this happened, it's real. How do I bounce out of the situation?
What can I learn from this?
What can I learn from the situation? Who's there to help me? How can they help me right now?
How can I improve myself going into the future.
Mentally,
From this.
physically,
Mm-hmm.
emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
like literally, it's like coincidentally, like my biggest thing, it really helped me mentally. Like I was able to think in a much more clear manner. For Andy, like it helped him motivate himself on a physical standpoint to like help self-better himself, or better, yeah, right, did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then with
Self-betterment.
Yeah, self-betterment. So, these type of things, like, it's tough to talk about. Like, I never hear Andy open up like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, like, in front of a camera.
Mm-hmm.
But these are topics that we need to speak about so other guys, or whoever, can understand that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And these things happen, and it's okay that they happen. You just gotta learn from it, you know what I'm saying? And you can't just sulk and be like, damn, like, this shit just happened, and like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta feel these emotions, you gotta allow them to happen, and then progress from them.
And also, you have to understand that, like, it's one of those things that time is going to heal everything. So time will heal it. And even though it's one of those things, when you truly, truly love someone, even though you may never, like, fully 100% like move on from that person, you're going to learn to live, you're going to learn to push it aside and move forward with your life. You're going to learn to kind of reevaluate your independent identity, who you are, what do I like to do? You know, who am I myself in here, right? Without this other person, right? And you're gonna learn to just move forward with your life, right? And that's the most important thing.
I think one of the biggest things I told Lucas, which I tell everyone, is that the suck stops sucking.
With time, the suck stops sucking. And it might take a while. I think it's taken me like over a month, right?
Yeah.
To actually eat a meal, to stop being like soaking in my own sadness every single morning. But it happens with time, right? And then kind of wanted to give 3 tips too that I had written down here.
Yeah.
So no, that's number 1. So right? Tip number 1, write everything down that you want to send to the other person. That is something that Andy told me specifically, right? Because your significant other has all the rights to move on with their life and do whatever they want to do. They don't owe you anything at the end of the day, right? Nothing, not one bit. So if instead of just reaching out to them 24/7, messaging them all the time, write the stuff down that you want to say, and then don't send it. Keep it in your notes, keep it in like a diary. Every single time that I feel like texting my ex, I write it down, right? I could literally show you guys, you'll be scrolling all day. I'm kind of crazy. But you write it down and you don't send it, and it's almost like you release those feelings.
Literally off of your head.
Right? It's like journaling.
Yeah, it's literally a form of journaling.
Mm-hmm.
It's instead of just compressing all that energy in your head, like you're literally letting it go. Another big tip would be
Limiting time on social media. Huge. Limiting time, and most importantly,
don't stalk your ex.
stop looking at what they're doing. Please stop. Do not look at what they're doing, because whatever you're looking for, you're gonna find.
Yeah.
You are gonna find it. And even if it's not real, you're still going to make assumptions because you don't know. And you're gonna find exactly what you're looking for.
You're always
right?
gonna assume the worst too.
I was making myself physically sick looking at, like, literally just following the lives of my ex-girlfriends, right? Like, physically sick, just like, oh my god, who are they with? Is there another guy there? Are they hooking up with this guy? Is this guy treating her better than me? Like, what's going on here? Why doesn't she love me? Why does she love that other guy? Physically, mentally sick. Stop it, right? Resist that urge to look at their snaps, look at their whatever, Facebook, Twitter,
MySpace.
Yeah. Well, AIM. Don't AIM them. Stop it. Stop messaging them. Stop looking at their lives. Stop following them. Give yourself time.
Looks supposed to send out emails.
Yeah. Give yourself time to move forward. Give them time to move forward in space as well. And then the last tip is ultimately just talk with your friends. Talk with your friends. Talk with your family. Talk to everyone. Because a lot of the people that you know, a lot of your friends are going through the same thing, or they have gone through the same thing. So they'll be able to help you. And the real friends that you have will be able to, they care for you and they want to see you do good. And they're going to want you to open up. They're going to want you to express these things that are happening. And they're going to help you move forward and heal.
Yeah, I think lately me and you have definitely been spending a whole lot more time together.
100%.
I think pretty much every other weekend, if not every weekend, we've been together, and you as well. Going on more trips.
Yeah.
Staying busy.
Yeah. From the breakup that I had, I have gotten significantly closer to every single person, every one of my friends, even like people that I haven't talked to. Yeah, like crazy. Like I legitimately have a newfound relationship with a lot of my friends, with my parents, with people that I haven't talked to in a while. Like now we're like talking again. They're like letting them into my life, right? Like speaking with these people is so important.
And you don't have to go through a breakup to experience that.
Yeah, true.
But having a breakup can allow these situations to happen because it makes you more vulnerable. You want to listen and talk to other people.
Yeah.
And Lucas is a prime example of how that helped him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just communicate with people.
Yeah.
They're there for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I think it's important to also realize that no one owes you anything, right? You don't owe them anything. They don't owe you anything. It's like allow you guys time to move forward with your life, be your own independent people, whatever it may be. One of the things that I've learned, right, maybe the hard way, it takes a little while to get it, but like the universe sometimes sends you blessings in disguise, and anything that's meant for you isn't going to pass you, right? So it's one of those things where like down the line, whatever is meant to happen is going to happen. Right now could be a blessing in disguise. Like just work on moving forward for yourself.
Yeah, we just got deep.
Yeah, that was some real shit.
That was some real shit. If you're still listening throughout this, for real, we
Thank
appreciate
you guys. Yeah.
And once again, like we started this I keep saying open up, but like to create these conversations, that no one wants to talk about.
So let's have them.
So Andy, we appreciate you pulling up.
Yeah.
Talking
Andy's
about
our first guest.
Yeah,
on Open Up.
On Open Up.
Planning on having some more.
Yeah.
Let us know. Reach out if you guys want to talk. Whatever.
We should invite our exes on the next episode.
Hey!
Just kidding. We gotta edit that one out. We gotta edit that. Just kidding. We edit that. All right. I'm already in the grave, so I'm gonna go.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming.
All right. See ya.